Yes. So here are the Mike texts. Tyson Chandler, Jason Terry, Marion, the exact same as Kleber, Hardaway, and Richardson. I said, ha, ha, ha. He said, Dorian Finney-Smith is our James Worthy. I did laughing, crying emoji.
James Worthy wasn't a role player. He's a Hall of Famer.
He was the third guy on the team.
That doesn't mean that he's a role player.
Luka is carrying blank. James Johnson reminds me of Robert Ory. Did our role players do good last night? I didn't notice. So this is Mike going in on the Mavs role players.
Mike, let me tell you something. If you ain't a superstar, you don't matter.
What are you RJ, you cannot win an NBA championship.
That Eric Dampier, when we moved Eric Dampier for Tyson Chandler, they're exactly the same because they're both 7 feet. They both get about 10 rebounds. Like, there was actually Tyson Chandler contributed nothing to the championship because he was our 4th or 5th guy on the team.
No. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not even remotely saying that. Okay. There's absolutely levels of players, but what I'm saying is that it doesn't, unless your top 2 are, if the Lakers lose Anthony Davis, which they have, their role players don't matter. They don't. It doesn't matter how good their role players are. If the Mavericks had a number 2 who was also a top 10 player in the NBA, it wouldn't matter how good their role players are. They'd be as good as the Lakers are right now.
I totally disagree.
If the Mavericks had Anthony Davis and the Lakers' second best player was Kristaps Porzingis, the Mavericks would have the exact same record as the Lakers do.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, Anthony Davis would play more, right, than Kristaps, or no?
Like
That's
I
the
said,
point. That's
the
point.
number one thing in basketball to get is a superstar player. The Mavericks did that, and that's the toughest thing to do. The number 2 thing is you have to have an all-star along with your superstar player. The Mavericks do not have that. Yeah. That's the second toughest thing to do. The third thing you have to have is very quality role players around your one superstar and your one all-star. And the Mavs have 0 of those guys. Because I'll put it this way, Choppy. Let's just take the Mavericks, for example. Tim Hardaway Jr. is not seeing the court in 2011. Josh Richardson's not seeing the court in 2011. Dorian Finney-Smith isn't even on the team in 2011. Maxi Kleber probably doesn't make the team in 2011. Like, when you take Jason Kidd and Jason Terry and Sean Marion and Caron Butler and Tyson Chandler and Peja Stojakovic and
Peja was old. Peja was an old man at that time. Hardaway would have played at that point.
So you think in 2011 to 2020, Tim Hardaway Jr. is a more knockdown, consistent 3-point shooter than Peja was when he would have to come in special situations.
Not in special situations. But Peja wasn't playing 25. He was playing 35 minutes a night?
No, but he fit the role way better. Tim Hardaway Jr., first of all, would have to compete. He's not getting minutes over Kidd or Terry or Marion or Caron Butler when healthy.
No, he would. He may get him over to Sean. Maybe.
RJ,
he's a horrible defender.
Mike's main point is that they've done a horrible job building around Luka, and he's including Porzingis being wrong as the 2. When you say the things that you say, it sounds like you dismiss Derek Fisher and Robert Ory and Rick Fox and Tyson Chandler and all those other guys that every team needs in order to win championships. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is a nobody, but Kentavious Caldwell-Pope was like their Derek Fisher last year. Like, you have to have other guys, and Shaq always talks about it. You have to have other guys, especially in the playoffs, that can come up in big time moments because it can't always be the stars.
But what I'm saying is that we only know Derek Fisher and those guys because they played alongside Kobe and Shaq, and they were given opportunities in big moments to become household names. The Mavericks are not good, not because Tim Hardaway and Josh Richardson and all those guys are getting major minutes. They're not good because they don't have a number 2. If Anthony Davis played on the Mavericks, they would be the best team in the NBA, or the second best team in the NBA, or the third best team in the NBA. That's what you need. You win with superstars. You don't win with role players.
If Prime, you know what, Corey, what's coming up on the show?